Good evening or good day. It's 9:20 p.m. here in beautiful Shelbina, Missouri, so it is evening here. Reading through the Proverbs today, and Proverbs 23 being the main because it is Friday, January 23rd of 2026. Now then, also in looking, I spied a couple of verses that I had highlighted in this set of scriptures. So I'm just going to start with you on today's reading and go forward. That's what I have and what I've written down. So you see. So for Friday, January 23rd of 2026, Proverbs 25:28. He that hath no rule over his own spirit is like a city that is broken down and without walls. Proverbs chapter 26, verse 24. He that hateth dissembleth with his lips, and layeth up deceit within him. 25. When he speaketh fair, believe him not, for there are 7 abominations in his heart. Now then, on to Proverbs 23. We're going to go. Did I write that down wrong? I'm not sure. Hold on a minute. Okay, yes, I had written down Proverbs 23, verse 4, and then down here by the verse, I had written 24. Let's see. Can you see? Yes. So Proverbs 23, verse 4. Labor not to be rich. Cease from thine own wisdom. So laboring to be rich, laboring with the express purpose and driven motivation of being rich. Let's go. Laboring to be rich. Once upon a time ago, the object or focus of labor was to do a job that was worthy, that was of quality. It seems a shift has been made a lot from quality to quantity. Rather than doing one job and doing it well, multitasking has taken its place in which several things may get done, but half-heartedly. Rather than producing one quality piece, the object is to produce as many sub-quality as is possible in as short an amount of time as possible. Quality subjections, standards, have changed, lowered, obviously to me anyway. As a society, as a whole, it seems, we no longer fix things, nor do we make do with what we have. Cheap replacement has taken the place of true quality, cheap and easy. There is the matter of supply and demand, which also could fall under the category of people-pleasing, wherein they've found it better to mass produce quantity rather than quality. The focus is on looks to make a sale rather than building something that will last. Copies of a Rembrandt do not a Rembrandt make. Hence, we've ended up with a plethora of things that may look from okay to good on the outside. However, if and or when it's put to the test, it breaks and or falls apart because it truly has no substance within the outer veneer covering or hiding what is truly inside. Quality requires a price that people just aren't willing to pay, and why would they when cheap replacements are more easily attainable, requiring less cost and effort? It satisfies the momentary lust, at least until it breaks, until the performance doesn't measure up to what one expected, at which place, time, it may be thrown out and replaced with another cheap piece, or not. See, we're all into have it now, gotta have it right now, gotta have it all right now. Everybody wants everything and they want it yesterday. There's no denying of the flesh, of themselves. This, quote, laboring to be rich, unquote, is making someone rich monetarily while robbing others who are pleased to have it that way. Quote, keeping up with the Joneses, unquote, as they used to say. Satisfying the lust of the flesh and the lust of the eyes and the pride of life. Now we go to 1 John chapter 2, verses 15 through 17. Emphasis on 16. 1 John 2:15. Love not the world, neither the things that are in the world. If any man love the world, the love of the Father is not in him. For all that is in the world, the lust of the flesh, the lust of the eyes, and the pride of life, is not of the Father, but is of the world. And we're going to go to Genesis chapter 3, verse 6. And when the woman saw that the tree was good for food, and it was pleasant to the eyes, and a tree to be desired to make one wise, she took of the fruit thereof, and did eat, and gave also unto her husband with her, and he did eat. How many times has a woman been the downfall of a man? One, the reason a woman is not to be preaching the word, what God hath said. She's not to be preaching what God hath said. Back to 1 John verse 17. And the world passeth away, and the lust thereof, but he that doeth the will of God abideth forever. In this illusion of prosperity America has created, fake as a $3 bill, what do you really have? Do you have anything they couldn't take away from you if you really fell upon hard times? House, car, and I'll not go into the credit card and easy credit options, or should I say schemes. In all reality, most people are broke. In fact, past broke. Because beyond what you may see, while they claim to be broke financially, broken in every other way also, or broke, not broken, or there'd be some repentance going on, is a mountain of debt that you do not see in trying to keep up this illusion of prosperity, trying to keep it going. People seem to have lost the ability and the care to in maintaining and taking care of things. This includes people and relationships. This is a general spirit, meaning attitude, not a spirit floating in the sky possessing people of and in the people. Yes, as you have the demon of, you have the devil of, and you go get it cast out, blah, blah, go away. A spirit of slothfulness, of carelessness. They don't care. But in the time to pay the piper, because you dance to the music, you got to pay the band, they are amazed and can't understand when consequences come. The American people, particularly, have been sold a lie of ease and comfort and are pleased to have it so until the reality of the discomfort of it all sets in. Then they piss and moan and whine. But the reason that they're sold this bill is because that's exactly what they desired. That's what they wanted. That's what was in their heart. As I put later in this, you better watch it. God will give you the desires of your heart. Better is the sight of the eyes than the wandering of the desire. Be satisfied, contented with what you have. This is to Mr. Hartley also a reminder, while being more settled, satisfied with what I have than ever I've been. It is enough. This notion of being satisfied with, going after, things that have a good-looking cover but no real substance has bled into every area. This throw away and replace society we have developed goes into every area. Quote, till death do you part, unquote, question mark? No, until you no longer fit my agenda or mold picture which society has deceitfully fed me, or until something I perceive as better comes along. For better, not worse. In health, not sickness. Until death do you part? No, until I grow weary of you. Our elders, quote-unquote loved ones, and I say that very lightly for the majority out there, when they become heavy, I didn't even say too heavy, there's a handy place, like unto a junkyard, once the vehicle has become a burden and one no longer cares to bear with it or just unload it on someone else. You can't very well sell a used person that way, can you? Or can you? Uncle Sam buys them. A handy place to file them away, yet still have them at your convenience, if and when you choose, while someone else carries the burden of it all and you play you're the loved one while bearing little to none of the responsibilities. Just throw them away. Quote-unquote Christianity, which is of Rome, i.e. the Roman Catholic Church, the great whore that sitteth upon many waters, Revelation 17:1. And upon her forehead was a name written, Mystery, Mystery, Babylon the Great, the mother of harlots and abominations of the earth. Then here we go. And I saw the woman drunken with the blood of the saints, and with the blood of the martyrs of Jesus. Period, period, period. That's in Revelation 17, verses 5 and 6. Look it up for yourself. Offering as is shewn in 2 Timothy 3:5. Christianity offering, Roman Catholicism in its many different branches offering. 2 Timothy 3:5. 2 Timothy 3:5. Having a form of godliness, little g, but denying the power thereof, from such turn away. And also from 2 Timothy 3, I spied, evil men and seducers shall wax worse and worse, deceiving and being deceived. I could be mistaken on the chapter. Many things allowed in the churches would not have been allowed 10, 20 years ago, let alone 50, which is only a result of, if the root is bad, the fruit is bad. Hence, as the fruit on the tree continues to grow and mature, it shows more clearly and definably what it actually is. You shall know a tree by its fruit. Christianity, quote unquote, as it were, produces bad fruit labeled with a Jesus sticker and a boatload of false hypocritical religiosity, aka lies. Quote, choose a Bible that speaks to you, unquote, which makes you the determining factor. Here we're going to go somewhere. Once upon a time ago, there was a talk show I partook of as a lost boy man. Unfortunately, I think it's still going. They would shoot out there saying, shocking paternity results! That never did impress me much because it wasn't shocking to me either, as it is or as it ain't. But anyway, these women would bring on this show one or two of the 569 men they'd lain with during that short time period, determined that he was the one. How could they have known anyway? When one spread is cheap and they spread it thin, there are no guarantees. Oh, the wailing and moaning and carrying on when it was determined that he was not the father. There is a or the definite article. Their feelings nor desires determined the absolute truth of the situation nor matter. When these Christians awaken in hell after a matter of their choice, what they believed, what made them feel good, because it's all about feelings despite absolute truth. What weeping, wailing, gnashing of teeth will there be when these stand before the great white throne of judgment? What will it be? A little late for, if I had known then what I know now, when the truth was there, is here to be known, and had all the while, and also had been all the while. The truth is there to be had. This is Friday. In 2 days, folks will go into their Baal temples headed by the government to pay homage to themselves and the three-person God, little g, they serve inasmuch as is convenient to them, and build up their flesh in loving themselves. When the day of their death, then their judgment comes, finding out that they were horribly wrong and the truth they refused, despised, was right before their eyes all the while. What will it be? They shall be without excuse. When a people cast away the real, the true, the genuine, and quality for what is cheap, easy, satisfying to the flesh, but with no real substance, why should they be surprised or upset when that's what is delivered them, along with the consequences and baggage thereof? Well, of course, it's going to be different for them, so the consequences and the baggage do not apply to them until it actually happens, and then they're amazed. Oh, no man anything but to love one another. There's a cure for debt right there. When one refuses truth, strives and strains toward and for what is fake, then why the indignance once you get what you've asked for? America loves a show, fake, most of it is. America loves drama regardless of what they say. No demand, no supply. If there were no demand for drama, there'd be no supply. They can't sell what no one's buying. America is all about image. Yeah, so were the golden calves. The American dream, quote unquote, thing is with dreams, at some time one has to wake up seeing the reality of what is there. There is the God of this world, quote unquote, who is allowed to rule by the great God over all, who has the final say, who will, and has given you the desires of your heart, quote unquote. And look at the mess you done made. How much more I could have said and included. Labor not to be rich. Cease from thine own wisdom. You got what you wanted. Thine own wisdom.